Hi there, Leo. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your reading back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello, and for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. So we're gonna be doing a pick card reading by the end of the session. It's gonna be how do they feel. What's wrong? What's happening? How are you guys doing? What was I saying? Oh, we're gonna be doing a pick card reading by the end of the session. It's gonna be how do they feel about you. You might want to check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign as well. Me personally, I realize with my readings and all general readings out there that I follow on YouTube that I have a tendency to resonate a lot more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. So you might want to check that one out. And this is general reading, so the roles might get reversed, all right? But that's a very, very interesting energy that you got there. The first one is that you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords, and then you also have the Eight of Swords. So I feel that everything that is happening with you, especially in your relationship or in your love sector, it has been weighing on you for quite a while, especially on a mental state, because there is like a lot of confusion that is going on that kind of like led you to overthink, and then you guys kind of like thinking, you're worrying, and then you became curious about it. You have like a lot of questions in your head, and those questions like kind of like led you to become this Nine of Swords. So you kind of like feel like a little bit mentally entrapped. You might have like a little bit of a difficulties of sleeping at night, or basically putting your thoughts to rest, right? Because you have these two cards. So now what I feel that you guys are going to be choosing to do, especially in the 1 week to come, is like the Five of Swords, because you're just so sick of being in this state. You're just so sick, like, whew, this person is confusing me. Like, I don't know how to read them. I don't know the signal that they're sending to me. So instead of me worrying and focusing and, being so curious about the answers that I really, really want to get, let's just not think about it anyway. Yeah, because you're just kind of like sick. I mean, especially you guys are fire sign, similar to me. I'm a Sagittarius. We like to keep it moving. We like to keep it going. We hate to be stuck in one place, especially in our state of mind. So, but be careful of being a little bit too harsh, all right? I feel that you guys either need a clarity or confirmations or closure that you're not getting. And that's also one of the reasons why you feel mentally entrapped in here. So you guys are like, you know what? Like, this person is not going to give me any type of clarity or informations or closure or confirmation. So I'm not going to give them that too. Yeah. You might be dealing with a water sign because you have the King of Cups in here. Sometimes King of Cups kind of like, originally though, traditionally King of Cups is actually a Libra card, which is weird, right? But yeah, you might be dealing with a Libra or water sign. So what is the overall challenge of this relationship? One person in this relationship is not being so emotionally available. King of Cups, especially in the overall challenge, sometimes indicates or symbolizes somebody who is a little bit emotionally manipulative in a way that they're so afraid of expressing their vulnerabilities that they have a tendency to test it out. So they kind of like trying to make somebody jealous so that they know, oh yeah, this person cares about me because this person is jealous. It might work for an anxious person, but if you're dealing with a dismissive avoidant or a fearful avoidant, jealousy is actually kind of like distasteful. They hate that. So this type of game will work on somebody with anxious preoccupied, but it's definitely not going to work on somebody who has an avoidant tendency. And the second one is a Three of Swords in reverse. So it's kind of like a little bit hard to get over the pain. There has been some pain. Maybe from this person or maybe from the person previous to this person. But one person in this relationship hasn't had that time to heal. And because they haven't had that time to heal, they become a little bit emotionally funny. So in the past, they had the Judgment card and also the Two of Swords. So you were under evaluations or you were under assessment. I think you're dealing with somebody who really, really is very, very protective over their heart chakras, because I feel that this person was either taken for granted in the past or they dealt with like a very, very terrible heartbreak. So they're a bit fearful. And you notice this, because you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse in here. So I feel that in the beginning, you feel that, yeah, you know what, this person is amazing. We get along really well. We have all of the tools that we needed in order to make this relationship work. But as time goes by, you're starting to notice that, I'm naked. I'm bare naked emotionally with this person, but this person is not really showing me that type of reassurance that I need. And I think so too, you know, for some of you, sometimes you feel like this person is judging you just a little bit. And when they're in that state, you have a tendency to just kind of like flee or avoid it altogether. These 5 cards in the now. Let's see what happens in the now. So when I said now, it could probably already happen. Or maybe it's going to happen like really, really soon. All right. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in reverse from their side. Temperance as the overall energy of the relationship. The Fool card. Ace of Swords. So you back away because you were not feeling so content with how things go in this relationship. And then you experience life again. You became the Fool card. You try to experience life again. You try to restart your life again. You hit that reset button. You try to, you know, bring balance back into your life and everything like that. Then this person's is like, oh wow, like I see the Leo that I once was interested in, or I see the side of Leo that I kind of like desire. You might be dealing with an avoidant person though. And it's not something to be shamed about, you know what I mean? Because I really do believe that there probably is like only 1% of the of people in the entire population that is actually have a secure type of adult attachment. But I think you might be dealing with an avoidant person because once things get too real, they became so afraid of being engulfed, you know, in that deep of emotion. So they distant, they avoid. But then when you pull back and you give them some space, and again, as I said, you hit the reset button on your life, you try to be more joyful, become the Leo that you once were, so happy, so cheerful, and everything like that. This person then started to realize that, oh, yeah, I see that side of Leo that I'm interested in. I think it's now safe for me to go back into Leo because I won't be that engulfed again. That means 5 cards in the future. I like to ask questions in my native tongue because that's just how I like it. Devil card in reverse, Ace of Cups. Interesting. You will get what you wish for, Leo. All of the things that you wish that this person was, you'll get it. But are you ready for it? Careful what you want. So again, as I said, right, like in the now. So when I mean in the now, it means that it probably already happened or it's going to soon happening within 1 week whenever you watch this video. When you pull back, right, and then you start to live your life, this person starts to realize that quality that they once adore from you guys. And then they're going to be opening like either a line of communications or they're going to be doing a certain type of thing. But in the now, when that time comes, you guys are trying to be as sane as possible. You won't be that excited. You won't be that happy. You guys are going to be like, okay, well, I'm glad that this person is showing me something that I wanted them to show me in the past. But let's not get too excited about this. Let's just be calm, right? Like chill, relax. Let's not show too much of emotions and everything like that. And then let's open a line of communications. I think there's going to be a majority of you, though, who is going to express how you really feel, right? Because you were not comfortable with how things were in the past. There were so many questions. There were so many wondering from your part that you feel you deserve a clarity or confirmations or reassurance from. So you're going to be communicating, you're going to be expressing, like probably going to be saying like, look, I don't really appreciate it when you were like this because it made me feel like this. You have to realize that my love language is this and this and this and this and that, right? Their initial reaction, though, could be the Queen of Swords in reverse. So in a way that, again, I think a lot of you are dealing with a avoidant person. So if you poke that, they're going to be like, no. Yeah, they're going to be defensive about it. So what you could do about it, but you know what? Like, let's see the pick a card reading. If you're dealing with a good person, then this advice will make sense for you. But if you're dealing with a bad person that you can see on the pick a card reading, then you're probably just going to love them from the distance, okay? But if you end up getting like a positive pick a card reading by the end of the session, is that my advice for you is that, yeah, they're going to be deflecting, right? They're going to be defensive. Every time somebody pushes you, of course, your initial reaction is going to be pushing them back. And that's a very, very humanely thing to do. It's human, okay? So give them some space and then they're just going to come to their senses. They're going to be like reflecting, like probably just give them like 24 hours or 48 hours for them to, you know, just think about it. And then in the future, this person is then going to be like, okay, you know what? They were right. Leo was right. I was being unfair with them. I wasn't really prioritizing them. I was really, really being protective over my heart chakras. So they're, you know what? Like if you get like a good pick card reading by the end of the session, I feel that this relationship between you and them is very, very enlightening in a way that you heal some part of them and they will also heal some part of you. Okay, especially those throat chakras that has been blocked for quite a while, you would be pushed to really, really express it all out. So yeah, if you have a good positive pick a card reading by the end of the session, this relationship is good because you heal one another. So they're going to come out of their fear. They're going to come out of their shadow side. They're going to be coming out of, you know, all of the things that they're so afraid of. And they're going to be embracing this. Ace of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? Finally, we have some cups here. Yeah, maybe what Leo is offering me is something that is of a good thing, right? The thing is that Leo, there is a reason why this person is so protective over their heart chakras. Is because once they're in love and once they become super duper vulnerable, it's like Niagara, like a tsunami wave of emotions, if you know what I mean. It's like, okay. So, again, as I said, be careful what you wish for because you might get it. And you might be shocked at how you get it. Because how they're going to behave in the future once they change is going to be completely different than how they behaved in the past. So, careful what you wish for. And kind of like ask yourself too, you know, is the reason why I have feelings for this person is because I truly love them or is because I like the chase, I like the challenges. Yeah, I'm a fire sign myself. Sometimes I get caught up in that. When I became curious with somebody, it's like, oh, it's such a challenging position for me, you know, something like that. So ask yourself that. Because in the future, when this person starts to recognize their feelings for you, they start to become very, very expressive and they start to show their vulnerability with you, you became overwhelmed by it. I mean, this is the Eight of Wands, but the Eight of Wands in this particular deck of mine is like this, okay? It's so fast, it's overwhelming. Freaking out, what you do? What do they do? Right? They're letting go of their shadow side. They're letting go of their control. They're letting go of their fears. They're starting to show their vulnerabilities. You became overwhelmed by, whoa, this is a side of them that I didn't see coming. And then you're like, Four of Swords, so you're trying to be chill. Let's not get excited. Okay, so if you have a good pick a card reading, once they start to show some progress of letting go of those shadow sides of them, be appreciative of that, you know? You've always wanted to have a relationship where you could be so emotionally connected with another person. This person is able to give you that only if you get a good pick card reading, all right? Because if you have a bad pick card reading, why do you even need a tarot reading? You know what I mean? So if you have a good pick card reading, try to appreciate the changes, the development of what is happening. All right? So I feel that is it for my reading for you guys. If you guys are dealing with one person, I'm going to be putting a timestamp right over here to when the pick card reading starts. And now let's move on to the two people scenarios. Meaning that if you guys are only doing one person, your reading ends now. And now we're going to be talking to people who are dealing with two people, okay? All right, so person B is somebody who you have had your disappointment with because you feel that this person is always like, no matter how much patience you tried and whatever, like you've always feel that this person is never let you in emotionally. They never really prioritizes you. Where in fact, you guys have already been prioritizing them. You've always been prioritizing the collective happiness. So you actually compromise a lot in the past. The things that you won't allow other people to do to you, you allow them to do that to you. You compromise. Enable would be a better word, but let's just use the word compromise. In the now, this person is the Queen of Swords in reverse. They're playing Jedi mind trick on you. Make sure that with this person is not just the thrill of the chase, because it's not just the thrill of the chase. It's like you thrive with their mind games. It's like you thrive with this confusions that they're really putting you in. I don't need a pick card reading to tell you that person B is not healthy, Leo. This is like they're grooming you with all of these mental manipulations. Not really liking person B. Anyway, person A. Might be a Capricorn because it's a very heavy Capricorn or Aquarius. But with this person, you try to flee though. Like you know that they're there for you, but you try to flee away from them. They in the past were dealing with a lot where they need to put like a lot of consistencies and persistencies and be learning about boundaries and have to learn about themselves and everything like that. But with this person, you try to flee. I think you flee to probably person B. I don't know. But like with person B, A, you try to flee. And then now this person is starting to realize the beautiful qualities that you guys have that might translate into, a beautiful relationship. Your guys are like the Fool card. So meaning that you're not really open with them. You're kind of like open with anything that life throws you, which is beautiful. In the future, this person is going to be more and more and more confident in expressing their emotions with you. However, you guys are not really liking it. You feel kind of like overwhelmed with all of these things. So if you're dealing with two people, I kind of like feel that you guys are probably going to be a little bit confused in the future as well, because you then have two people who starting to show their emotions. However, I would say that person B showing their emotions simply because they already feel that they've already groomed you. Yeah. It's because now you're a good girl or good boy who wouldn't stand up or rebel against this Queen of Swords in reverse. So it's a bit unhealthy with person B. Alright, so now let's move on to the B card reading, Leo. I have 4 piles of cards with me now. This is pile number 1 with the jade stone, pile number 2 with rose quartz, pile number 3 with green aventurines, and pile number 4 with the pirate. I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds of full silence. 1 pile of card for 1 person. If you have multiple people that you want to ask about, it's fine, but 1 pile of card for 1 person so that you don't end up getting confused. All right, so yeah, let's go. For those of you who chose pile number 1 with this beautiful jade stone, so you have the first one is the Ace of Cups. Interesting. 7 of Wands, 9 of Swords, and also the Page of Wands was in reverse. Okay, so you're dealing with a lovers in denial. There is no... Okay, they weren't expecting that. They were expecting that they would have like an amazing emotional type of connections with you guys because it came to them rushing all of a sudden. You know, as you can see here, the Ace of Cups in this particular deck of mine, it just comes rushing in. They really didn't have anything to defend themselves from those feelings. So yeah, it kind of like keep rushing in, and they try to deny it so much. They have the 7 of Wands in here. I feel that this is the type of person who is not really enjoy of the feeling of being engulfed in emotions. You probably are dealing with somebody who has like a little bit of avoidant tendencies in an adult attachment type. So they're trying as much as they could to kind of like avoid and not really feeling this deep. So what are the repercussions of the denial that they're doing is that now they're in a state of this 9 of Swords, okay? They just don't know how to function properly. I feel that this is the type of feelings that was foreign to them, and it only happened to them because of you. So that's why there's like a lot of confusions and there's like a lot of fighting off of those emotions. I think in particular they're not so keen on showing how do they feel about you, simply because they're kind of like denying about those stuff. I think the relationship between you and them really is of beneficial for them because it kind of like make them realize that ego is very illusory. It's not something to be proud of. It's not something that we should hold on to very dearly because ego again is what we identify ourselves with. So I feel that whoever it is that you were dealing with was identifying themselves as somebody, and then because of that this feelings for you, I think it kind of like goes opposite to what they identify themselves to be. So now they're much more in denial. So I feel that whoever it is that you're dealing with in and now is kind of like processing all of these emotions. Yes, they do have like a very deep emotional connections with you that really did come rushing in to them all of a sudden, and they were not really expecting it. But also at the same time, because it clashes with the ego or who they identify themselves, you know, to be, and who they identify themselves to you know, they're just not willing to feel it. So now they're just kind of like processing, going back and forth. If you give them like a little bit of a space, and then when things get like a little bit chill with these emotions, then they will return to you. But then once they feel engulfed in that emotional connections again, then they will pull back again. So I feel that the dynamic will always be that way until this person learns to embrace these emotions, not to be so afraid of this because it clashes or it's the exact opposite of what they perceive themselves to be. Yeah, it's very enlightening for them. You know, your presence is very enlightening for them because you guys teaches them about who they are. Okay, so now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 2. Hanged Man, 10 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. You have one extra card here, which is the 9 of Wands. Interesting. This person has always been wary when it comes to approaching things, regarding their emotions, because they have the Nine of Wands. This person is pretty insecure. They have a tendency to kind of like put on a mask or put on a facade, because they're not really sure if other people are going to love them for who they are, because this is them and this is who they truly are. They're afraid of people knowing maybe their flaws, maybe their insecurities, maybe their past or what have you. So they have a tendency to put on a facade of showing, their partner, whoever it is that they're dealing with, not their real self. And actually right now, I don't think this probably has to do with you again, because they kind of like are regretting the fact that they're not really showing them and they're not really being vulnerable with you guys, and that leads to hurt. But this is like a recurring cycle in their life. I don't think they feel this way just to you too. I feel that there has been like a lot of opportunities, maybe when it comes to relationship, or maybe when it comes to work, or asking help for a friend or what have you, where they've been experiencing this a lot. It's like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And why is that so? It's because they're not being their authentic self. The perceptions or their public image or their public reputations is very, very important for them. Again, because they're afraid of people thinking less of them, or people not really want to be accepting who they truly are. It's an anxious, preoccupied person. They occupy themselves with like a lot of things that are not really important. They're trying to substitute it with other things that are not important. But they're pretty insecure deep down inside, Leo. So what do they do with you? They prefer to just wait, to become a passive person. Until it gets too much, and then they will start giving it again. But then they will feel as if like the thing that they're doing or the effort that they're putting is like the hardest job in the world. Because whenever they're alone with themselves, they're like this. They're worrying. It's a bit difficult to be dealing with this type of person, simply because you can never give them like a lot of space. If you need some space to deal with your own, then these shadows in the dark comes up in their minds. It's pretty needy, it's pretty clingy. This hurt that they're feeling with the Ten of Swords here probably was something that you do, or maybe it was what they've done to themselves. Hey, I'm going to be putting like a lot of effort into Leo and blah, 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 blah. But then when you give them space, or when you're just like living your life, they got hurt because they're not really included in your life. They're anxious people. They always have fear of abandonment. They always have fear of like, I don't know, because they really, really think so lowly about themselves. They've been trying to study you. They're pretty much of an observant people. So they would observe what are your likings are. They would probably observe the moles that you have and everything like that. They're very observant. This is actually the type of people who would be so nice to be in a relationship with, but that it's just the fact that they think so lowly about themselves that they became anxious, and then it becomes nightmarish to deal with. With this person, you need to give them like a daily and constant reassurance day by day, because they need to feel loved on a daily basis. And again, as I said, just you giving them some space, living your life as a Leo would do, it will trigger like a lot of shadows to come out, and then they would start assuming things, they would start to thinking of the worst things, and that will probably take a toll on the relationship. You might want to look up how to deal with an anxious partner, because I feel that you're dealing with somebody who is pretty anxious, preoccupied. All right? Now, let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. Ten of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 6 of Cups, and also the Justice card. I have so much scenarios when it comes to this pile of cards, to be honest with you, Leo. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, there is a female figure in their life that is very, very prominent to them. It could be their mother, it could be their aunt, it could be their sister. So this mother, aunt, sister, whoever it is that they, or maybe grandma, that they're close with, kind of like give them the impression that the most important things in life is actually money. Okay, it's actually comfort. Because as you can see here, there is no cups at all. So I feel that this is the type of person who would be in a relationship because of comfort instead of love. Because that's what's been instilled to them ever since they were little. They're very, very stingy with their assets. They're very stingy with their money. They're very, very calculative with, okay, so I spend this much time or I spend this much money on this person. I expect something in return. So whoever it is that instilled this taught them that relationship is about comfort. Not so much about emotions. It's all about comfort. It's about paying the bills. It's about, raising the children. It's about paying the children's tuition fee and everything like that. And they hold on to that belief very, very much. The thing is that the relationship with them and you guys are kind of like compatible on an emotional level or soul level, because you can recognize each other. I feel that it's either you would probably feel as if like this is like the soulmate relationship or a twin flame relationship or a karmic relationship, because you recognize one another. What is the pillar or what is the obstacles here is whatever belief that this woman has instilled upon them. In terms of how do they feel about you, they feel that you're the type of person who is extremely, extremely hot. Okay? You guys are extremely hot. You guys are very, very logical. If they were to be dating with you, if they were to be in a relationship with you, you will look good on paper because you are going to make them proud. Probably it's your looks, probably it's your network. It probably is about anything, but it's something for them to make themselves proud to be with. Okay? But again, because of what was instilled to them ever since they were little, emotional connections isn't really something that is very important for them. So if you want to build a relationship with them, you would probably notice that this person might be a little bit dismissive over the emotions and not really caring or not really wanting to nurture the emotional relationship that both of you have. They probably would want to nurture the mental connection and then, how to keep the household going and everything like that. They probably want to do it on a physical level or sexual level, but not really an emotional level. You might be feeling a little bit lonely if you end up being in a relationship with them, simply because this person is not really, emotional connection is not their main focus. There are a few people who are like that. And also, there is this one issue with loyalty too. And I'm not saying that they're not faithful to you. Loyalty and faithfulness is different. Loyalty means that they will always get your back no matter what, and they will, you will always be their priorities. But the thing is that if you guys have an issue or a problem with their friends or with your family, with their family members or what have you, they do not really are going to defend you 100%. I feel that, this type of defend or loyalty is really, really important with people who have their placement in Scorpio. I'm not really sure when it comes to Leo, but yeah, I feel that you guys are going to be like a little bit disappointed finding out that this person doesn't really have your back 100%, because they're pretty objective, but sometimes when we have a partner, we don't want our partner to be objective, if you know what I mean. I don't know, maybe that's me having a Mars in Scorpio, but yeah, they're not really loyal. And also, they do recognize in you the potentials of building something that lasts forever. But again, as I said, the type of relationship that they're much more interested in is, the safe, comfort, secure type of relationship, and not really focusing on the emotional factor. So it could get quite lonely being in a relationship with this person. Okay, so now let's move on to those of you who chose pile number 4. 3 of Cups, King of Pentacles. Whoa, that pirate is really fitting for this card. 4 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and also the 9 of Pentacles. That's really interesting. I feel that whoever it is that you're dealing with, they're not really in a phase of their life where they really, really want to have a relationship with somebody. Because I feel that this person is very, very much more focused on their life goals or their career or their ambitions or their businesses or what have you. Okay, so every relationship that comes along with them, it's kind of normal. It's nothing special about it. I feel that before you, this person has already have done like a relationship like this with somebody else previously, and there's no sense of importance to that relationship, similar to there is no sense of importance to this relationship. Because what is important for them in the now is those earthy goals that they have. They want to be rich, they want to be secure, they want to be stable, like all those money's things. It's different than a pile number 3. This person is really, really focused on, hustling and working hard and ambitions and career and everything like that. So they really doesn't really think a lot about relationship. They treat it as a friend, they treat it as a companion. And they would want to ask for a lot and a lot and a lot of understanding from their partner. Look, I have a goal in mind. Will you be patient? Okay, will you trust me? This is all for us and blah, 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 blah. But the truth of the matter is they don't put a sense of importance to you. Okay, yeah, they feel comfortable with you. Yeah, they feel that they could talk whatever with you. It's fun relationship with you and everything like that. But to be honest with you, Leo, they don't put a sense of importance. I mean, if you're looking for a relationship that is of casual, and then you also don't know what you want, like 1 year or 2 years from now, you don't want to settle and what have you, this person is fine. But if you're looking for something that is serious, I don't think this is good. Because you guys are on a different level and you're also on a different expectations. And if you're thinking, well, maybe once they're successful, then they would take me seriously. Well, the thing about earthy goals, mundane goals or worldly goals, is that we're never satisfied. Don't you agree? It's like, today I want to be a manager, and then after I become a manager, I want to be a director, and then after I become a director, I want to be a CEO. After I become a CEO, I want to be an entrepreneur. It's never, it's hard to get satisfied by it. So you don't know the end goals of this person. And would you be willing, again, if you are really looking for somebody to settle down with, would you be willing to spend like years and years of your life for somebody who doesn't really give you
that sense of importance. If it's for casual, it's fine. At least this person won't burden you with their financial problems, right? But if you're looking for somebody to settle down with, I feel that it's just not compatible for you and it might hurt you in the long run. All right? So I think that is it for my reading for you, Leo. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity that you've been looking for. I really do hope that you have a great week ahead. All right, bye-bye. Have a great day, guys. I love you.